Congressman Mark Meadows is a Republican who represents North Carolina, and he joins us tonight. Congressman, thanks very much for coming on. So what was the purpose of this, do you think?
Well, and look, Britt laid it out very well. I mean, they had to go out and find a witness, and John Dean's made a career of comparing everybody to Richard Nixon, and everybody is worse than Richard Nixon, according to him. And yet here they come back with a CNN paid contributor trying to lay out an argument that actually fell flat. I think the biggest thing, Tucker, is this. There was that movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray. This is a Groundhog Day kind of hearing. They can't get it right, so they keep coming back over and over and over again, trying to convince the American people that the president is guilty when indeed the evidence suggests otherwise.
What's interesting is that when House Democrats want to convince the country that the president should be impeached, they call not actual experts, but they call MSNBC and CNN employees. Is that odd to you?
Well, it's very odd. And interestingly, one of those witnesses yesterday tweeted out in 2017 that the Steele dossier was a credible document, that the FISA court obviously thought it was credible. Now, you and I both know that not only do we know that it's not credible, and not only do the American people know that the dossier and Christopher Steele was not credible, but the FBI knew that before the very first FISA warrant. And so yet they're going to try to convince the American people with theatrics instead of the facts. And the fact that he said he was not a fact witness, there is not a truer statement that's been uttered on Capitol Hill than that statement by John Dean yesterday.
So taking off your partisan hat, just put on your prognosticator hat, whatever that looks like. Are they going to impeach or not?
You know, obviously, I don't think they impeach, mainly because if they've looked at the same polls that we've looked at, the vast majority of Americans believe that everybody was waiting for the Mueller report to say, was there collusion? When there was none, unaffiliated voters, Republican voters, all believe that impeachment would be divisive, and certainly you can even make the case that if they impeach, that it actually helps the President of the United States. Now, I think it's so divisive that we shouldn't do it, but in the end, I think that they're going to try to do death by 1,000 cuts and have hearing after hearing after hearing and try to inflict as much partisan damage as they possibly can.
Isn't that kind of a tough case to make to your own voters, though? For 2 years, they tell us the president is a criminal, a traitor. You know, he literally has committed treason on behalf of a hostile foreign power, but no, we're not impeaching him. How does that make sense?
Well, it is very difficult when you try to lay out the case, but here's the other thing that they know is coming. You've been talking about it night in and night out here at the 8 o'clock hour. You've been talking about the fact that there's other information that's coming, and I'm telling you, Attorney General Bill Barr, John Durham, they're on this case, and what we will find is this whole conspiracy case, and actually the whole case against the president in obstruction, will start to fall apart as we look at transparency and make sure that the American people can judge for themselves. And that's what they're afraid of. So they're going to try to inflict as much damage as they can right now, because there are better days ahead for the President of the United States as it relates to this particular investigation.
Someone should call Obama up. The Obama administration spied on a rival presidential campaign using federal agencies. I mean, that seems like a headline to me. No one else seems to think that. Congressman, great to see you tonight. Thank you.
Great to be with you, Tucker. Thanks.